Let's begin here at this hour. Calls are mounting for President Cyril Ramaphosa to take a leave of absence and allow investigations into claims of robbery, in fact, at his farm be proved without any interference. Today, the EFF released what it says is a video footage from the alleged incident at the Parapara farm. Of course, and party leader Julius Malema saying there's more evidence relating to money laundering and racketeering against Ramaphosa. Now, the president will also be in Parliament this week, and the EFF saying that they are going to also be making sure that he is not able to speak or even carry out his duties. In fact, if he does not really do what they're asking him to do, which is to take a leave of absence. So is he going to do it? Is he not? Can he interfere? Let's have this conversation now with political analyst Khanyi Magubane. Khanyi, thank you so much for your time. Has the president, when looking at what happened last week up to today, has he handled this issue correctly?
Well, good evening, Bongiwe. I think that the president has tried to brush it off very casually. We saw him speaking on the matter at the conference in Limpopo and, casually laughing about it, saying that he runs a game farm and that the money that was found and subsequently stolen at his farm was money from proceeds of buying and selling cattle and rare game. And perhaps the president might have been under the impression that this is yet another issue that will simply be swept under the carpet and disappear, as many issues that have implicated the president in previous years have actually done so. But I think that this time around, the president has to answer. The president, I think, has to come under scrutiny because as the very first citizen of this country, it is prudent that our president is beyond reproach, and that for the longest time in preaching the message of renewal of the ANC, the president has painted himself as being above reproach, and this particular matter has actually found him wanting, and he's very vulnerable at the moment as political pressure, not only in South Africa, but in Namibia also grows for the Namibian president to also answer. Now, we know that the Namibian president has said that he doesn't do any favors for any president, albeit they are in regular contact, that he doesn't get involved in their issues. So I think the mounting calls for the president to step aside while this matter is being investigated are fair, and that the president himself actually should have been the first one to volunteer to step aside until this matter is cleared.
Do you think, though, as you say, that he took this matter lightly, given what has come out as allegations against him in the past? Do you think the ground was made fertile by even brushing off at some point that audio that, emerged that was also, really, really damning, especially when you talk about state money being used for party campaigns, and even him going as far as saying that he's willing to fall on his sword and not take members of the public into his confidence about this issue, and that audio seems to have been forgotten?
Absolutely. That is one of the examples actually that I had in mind, because we know that this matter was taken to Scopa, and Mkhuleko Hlengwa wrote to the president asking him to respond. And I actually did have a conversation with Mkhuleko when I happened to bump into him in a social setting. And I put it to him that he failed to carry out his duties as the chairperson of Scopa. And he indicated that there has to be a vote, within the members of parliament or within the Scopa committee to take the matter forward and investigate it as per Parliament's rules, and that they failed to secure a quorum to investigate the president further, and as such the matter dissolved. And we can also look at the CR17 bank statements. We can look at the issue of his funding and the campaign money that was used, even going all the way back to the Bosasa issue that was raised by former DA leader Mmusi Maimane a number of years ago. So what we are seeing is a consistent pattern here, Bongiwe, where the president comes under scrutiny, damning allegations are made against him, but matters continue to just fall by the wayside. But I think that this time around, because of the international interest in this case, and because of the money laundering and tax evasion, accusations that have been leveled against him, not even his presidential spokesperson, Vincent, can can, spin this matter away. The president has to account, and an investigation, which we've even seen Minister Lindiwe Sisulu calling for in one of her interviews recently. It has to take place. And we know that the president has influence in the security agencies, and he cannot, be there and influencing possibly the outcome of that investigation. Hence, if he does decide, it does give them that opportunity to do so.
Pardon me for coming in there. Some have said that this is part of a political fight back by his detractors. Of course, we do know the factional battles that are currently at play within the ANC. I'm keen to hear your view on those who are saying that this is part of a political fight back.
We can't discard it. We can't simply say that this is an independent issue that is not connected to the ANC presidential race that is going to happen at the end of the year. Mudslinging, smear campaigns are always the order of the day, at least in the year leading up to those all-important elective conferences, and specifically the national conference. And we know that the factional battles within the ANC have become fiercer, and we know that Ramaphosa's rivals have been looking for any kind of ammunition to discredit him, to ensure that his chances of returning to the ANC as the president are limited, because at the end of the day, the ANC also has to put forward a candidate that they are confident will have the confidence of the people of South Africa. And currently, the dwindling confidence of South Africans in the ANC has not been helped by this issue, because the question is, if the president of this country is as corrupt as he has been accused to be, then what hope is there for the rest of the other politicians that are there? If we don't have confidence in the president, who do we have confidence in? And as much as we can say that this may be part of a smear campaign, but at the end of the day, those $4 million did not put themselves in that farm. Those $4 million have a source. How were they brought into the country? How was that money allowed to come into the country? Because the rules of this country are that an individual cannot come into South Africa with more than $10,000 in their possession. So how does $4.5 million find its way to the farm of the president? So as much as we definitely can point to political infighting, but I think that we cannot only say that that is the cause. The president still needs to answer on what exactly happened in this case.
Lots of political implications there, as you say, Khanyi. We continue then to wait and see what happens next, because it's also going to be interesting to get another layer to hear from the security cluster on this one, because this is really a huge issue. Thank you so much for your time this evening. That's political analyst Khanyi Magubane.